This collaboration started quite a number of years ago. So we've had this intensive dialogue with our colleagues at Rockbund Art Museum in Shanghai. It started with an exhibition which we hosted here 2 years ago, an opera for animals, which we conceived, we co-curated together with Claire She, and later on traveled to Shanghai, where it was enriched and developed and co-curated with our colleagues from the museum.
I was trying to think how we can question from this project that is related to scenography, opera, theater, exhibition making, how it can be conceived or extended through a very simple material, that is the curtain, that artists, scenographers are using from very, very old history to contemporary, the curtain to represent images, body performance, and also puppet theater, for example, in Indonesia.
We're really thinking about kind of strategy and taking influence from our interest in kind of performative practices and performances. I think that's kind of shared between Parasite and the Rockbund Art Museum in terms of this kind of dedication for kind of different temporalities and visibilities, kind of beyond the kind of more formal presentation. So it was really like the curtain for us was, as a theatrical device, something that really evokes your attention. It kind of concludes something, or it can really announce or heighten a kind of sensitivity towards kind of a different image or kind of staging in different contexts.
I think there is also another more contemporary interest in the curtain that is related to the surface of the phone, the surface of the computer, and the surface of the TV, for example. So it's also this kind of switch from a traditional material as a fabric to also something that is more glossy, that is about the reflection of ourselves. But I would say it's also about the transformation of the body and relation to the collective space.
我们当时在策划和考虑帘幕的这样子一个展览背后的一个概念的时候，其实是有考虑到很多不同的讨论议题的。有一个议题呢是关于就是在当下不同的地域，然后它不同的这个地理位置，大家的就是使用的语言都是不一样的，对于文献的一种关心的态度也是不一样的。我们也发现就是说。现在就是有很多的这个文献档案，它其实都是在一种被大家遗忘的一个过程当中，所以我们的帘幕首先它非常关注的是那些在巨大的这个社会变革、结构变动，包括人口流动和这个文化遗失，还有就是从陆地的视角和海洋的视角去关注不同地方的这些档案的一个保存现状。
We had a very strong interest in the work of Gustav Metzger. He used acid, he used metal to cover the image, and he used curtain. So also the position of the viewer is quite stunning because the viewer has to unveil the curtain to see a photo, or has to crawl on the ground to discover the history. And so this was one of the main starting point of the project. But of course, there are many other artists, especially working in China and in Asia. So we had a kind of ongoing process to look at the specific context.
我们在思考和研究要展示什么样的艺术家和他们作品的时候，有意识到大家其实已经囊括了比较多像这种在西方艺术史上已经被承认过的这些艺术大家的作品，所以我们很自然的就在思考是否可以去邀请一些还在非常 频繁创作的一些亚洲女性艺术家她们的作品呢。所以其实在我们2个展场中，大家可以看到像是 Stella 张爽、胡颖萍，还有香港艺术家何倩彤、伍家如他们的作品。我们也是有意识的把他们的作品并置在和这些大家的这种有历史意义的作品的旁边，希望这样子可以去邀请我们的观众朋友们去思考这个过去的歷史和現在的今天之間嘅關係，以及可以希望去激發大家對未來的一些想象。
咁今次 Sansa 亦都係我哋其中一個喺呢個展場上面展出嘅本地藝術家嘅作品啦。咁佢嘅攝影作品咧，其實都係涉獵緊一啲喺街頭入邊佢咧遇到嘅一啲人物嘅一啲故事，或者佢哋一啲生活嘅場景嘅。咁其實好多時呢啲人物可能我哋咧都未必會留意到啦，平時而係好似被隱藏嘅一啲人物咁樣。咁我哋都希望透過呢一系列嘅作品喺展場上面嘅出現，令到我哋去諗翻究竟係呢啲被隱藏嘅人物當中嘅故事啊，或者佢哋想經歷嘅係乜嘢咧？
The exhibition unfolds across 2 venues, in our home in Quarry Bay and at the temporary space in the Soho House building, also the 22nd floor. It's very much the same exhibition over the 2 venues, so you're seeing not even 2 chapters, because that would imply an order of seeing, and we don't have a preferred or recommended order to visit the exhibition. From the works to the design are site-specific and are very much about the presence, the physical and the emotional presence in the show. The experience of visiting the 2 venues is quite different, because the buildings and the spaces and the architecture are themselves quite different.
I mean, it's a really special project for us in terms of we've been, like everywhere else in the world, have been sort of directly and indirectly sort of dealing with the consequences of a kind of post-pandemic kind of situation. We haven't actually done exhibitions in quite a long period of time, and so I think for us this really symbolizes a kind of moment of hope for us in terms of the way forward, in terms of solidarities across different borders and joining of resources and kind of different forms of knowledge, bridging kind of different localities together in this moment. So that's been really special for us in that sense.
The way the visitors have some new expectation about how we can not only consume an exhibition but really engage with a project I think is another development of the institution, and also how do we curate the project, not only as one curator with one exhibition, but a multiplicity of individuals and collectives and organizations that makes also the perspectives more interesting, more diverse.